What's up, everybody? We're back on this one. Let's accept cookies. And we're going to do another 15 plus 10 in our Climbing the Rating Ladder series. Rated 879 right now. And on this one, I'm going to choose not to hold back. I've received some criticism for missing tactics. Excuse me. All right. So opponent's rated 970. I didn't fancy it. Don't blame you. Let's do it again. Fight me. Okay, we've got 913. I've been playing D4 openings. Let's do D4 again. Not my normal repertoire, but we'll see. Is this fella up for a fight? Okay. I'm just going to go for like a Fee and Keter. I don't know, I'm just making it up as I go along. Excuse me. Oh, he's doing the same. Really? Okay. Well, I'm going to do that in that case. And we're going to develop the knight. We're going to castle the king. Attacked, defended twice. Happy. He's going to want to bring his knight out. I can't do this. It comes with tempo. We don't want that at all. Oh. Well, that's on the quiet side. I mean, it blocks in this bishop, yeah. Maybe also gives my knight that square. Let's get castled. I'm going to leave a lung on this chessboard. That's playable. Should the knight come out, it will find itself pinned. I quite also like the move c3, especially now, because it also prevents the knight from coming in. And now we've built a brick wall, stopping this bishop from having much fun at all. It's really got, 3 squares it can go to. That one, it will just find itself traded off. And lo and behold, he does it. Right. If I take, knight takes. Now, let's have a look. I've castled and 2 pieces out on the board. Let's give that a development score of 4. Castling's worth 2. Opponent has a development score of 2. 2 pieces. Right? Now, if I do that, opponent still has a development score of 2. But their knight will be on here. And from there, it's actually got prospect. So I am disinclined to take the bishop and invite his knight there. Yes, it's on the rim, but it doesn't have to stay on the rim. Right? Why invite his knight into the game? No. You develop your own knight on your time, not on my time. You know what I mean? Can't go there. Well, I can. I'm castled at least. So, general principle, what do we do? Right, now he's had to develop his knight. He's come out to f6. Can I do this? No, not really. He wants to castle, but he's put his bishop in the wrong place. I'm going to try and find the best thing. Knight in here. He wants to castle. Don't know. I do kind of like the idea of opening my f pawn, but I really want to play e4. So let's play rook e1. If he castles, then that bishop's looking a bit stupid, having moved to that square, and then nothing happens. If you can hear crunching noises in the background, dog's got a bone. And he castles. Okay. Now, is it time for this? If he takes, I take back. Okay, I want to play against this bishop now. I don't like that bishop. Not that I'm afraid of it, I just don't like it. Here, knight takes with tempo. Kind of like that. And I feel like Freddie and Eddie are going to be my team on this one. In fact, if he does nothing, can I just play f4 immediately? If he refuses the knight trade, I don't think I want to take his knight and like improve his b pawn towards the centre, and also unleash his bishop, right? And also open up the b file for his rook. We don't want any of those things, right? Tension is okay, right? All beginners need to learn this. It's okay. My knight could take his knight could take my knight, right? That's taking stuff is nothing in itself. Trading is nothing in itself. I mean, getting free material can be good, but there ain't no free material here because both knights are defended by pawns. Okay. The point is, who benefits? Cui bono if I take his horse, and who benefits if he takes mine? Well, in this case, I capture with a pawn towards the centre, and now his knight has to move. And his knight is doing quite an important job. His knight's defended only by the queen there, by the way. You know? Yes, I've doubled my pawns on the e-file. I have. Yes, I've maybe opened up this pawn. That's not the point. If he goes there, I'll take him towards the centre, re-establish my centre. And the knight's had to move. Okay. Now, the knight is attacking this pawn, but I think I have f4. I wanted to play f4 anyway, right? I also have knight f3. So, important question actually here. This is a structural question. Knight f3 defends the pawn with a knight. Okay, can my knight be shifted from that? Can it be forced away? Not easily, no. He'd have to push g6 to g5, g5 to g4, which would be horribly weakening for him. So this is viable. The question is, do I want to push f4 first, defend the pawn with a pawn? Now, what's the benefit of defending a pawn with a pawn? It means that my knight is then free to move around the cabin. Okay, now, we could have, for example, pawn here, knight comes through to f3, and then can carry on and cause mischief elsewhere. So I am tempted to do this. Now, I have to consider king safety, because if I do that, I'm opening up this. Now, maybe he does c6, queen, b6, check, king h8. Yeah, I'm all right with that. It absolutely takes this square away from the bishop, right? I have El Grande Mucho dark squared pawn pyramid going on with a hole. It's got a little window in it. I could stuff a knight into there, or I could even stuff a bishop into there if I wanted to. Bishop would be a tall pawn. Like playing down. Queenie, where's Queenie going to go? Okay, so maybe he's had this idea, right? I'm reading his mind now. Feel like my knight wants to do something. Knight could come here, and that would really de-encourage this move, right? What about this, though? What about e4, though? What about that move? If taketh, knight recaptures, and then gives himself, outpost, city. It's too tempting to pass up. Now, if he should push, boom, I take. Right? And then I've got a big phalanx of pawns. Phalanx is a not a pretty word. Okay. Well, we already said what we were going to do here. Knight there was also, an option on the previous move, which is removing. But b2's defended anyway. Yeah. I actually have a video on this. Look up my seafood teachers that I uploaded this morning, talking about a position, completely different position, but a position where you just give up Barry. It's not about saving Private Barry, right? Forget Barry. His little life is meaningless in the scheme of things. Okay, now here, I could take back technically with a bishop as well, but I think getting the knight up into, a knight on an outpost on the 6th, that just says quality, right? That's one of those things where you don't even have to think about it. You just know it's good. And this is kind of how I'm using my blitz at the moment. Now I keep coming back to this. See, I'm trying to justify in my own mind why I'm playing a load of blitz. Okay. And there's definitely something about this instinctive play that I'm trying to foster somehow. See, look at opponent now. Our opponent, look at all these light square pawns. Wow, man. And look at this guy. That poor bastard there. He's got like... He's nowhere, right? And that means that this rook is nowhere. And I'm happy to see this. Am I going to take with a bishop? Hell no. No, I want to put my knight on here. Right? I don't want to put him here. Because then knight takes, pawn takes. My pawn's maybe a bit vulnerable. Yes, I think my hunch is to leave this pawn chain in place. It's locking that bishop down. Black's done a fantastic job of locking down his other bishop himself. So should I put my knight here, I won't even think about really taking that bishop. Because it's like a 1-point bishop. And it makes this rook into a 2-point rook. You know, it's just awful, awful. And I'm not even going to think, look, I'm not even thinking. Just chuck the knight in to the outpost. And now look at Black's position. He has no space whatsoever. And now we need to think about what we're going to do with our time. Okay, rook b1. What's weak? I mean, potentially there's a hole here. This is kind of a backwards pawn. Actually, that pawn's undefended. So, if I could put my queen on here, it's quite good. Okay, something just happened. And now I think we need to think. Right, the knight threatens to come in here. Okay, so he's activated a piece. I think this is quite good. Also, maybe there's a threat of that. But here's the point. Why is this an outpost? It's an outpost because the c-pawn and the e-pawn have already advanced too far to disturb the knight. That means the knight can't be moved along by a pawn. That means if my opponent wants to shift that knight, he's going to have to use a piece to do it. Okay? So maybe he comes here. I don't know. If he does, I'll probably take him out, actually. Mess up the pawns, yeah. This... Hang on. So he's not actually threatening to go there because queen takes. He's not actually threatening to go there because probably bishop takes, I would say. He can't go there because pawn. Can't go there because of queen. So... I mean, b4, the problem with b4 is I create a backwards pawn on c3. James told me off for this the other week. Not really necessary, that's the thing. Okay, this bishop is yeah, nothing to anyone. He's stopping my queen from coming to these squares. He is also actually defending this pawn, which is interesting. Now, I could stick my queen here, then play b4, with the idea of then capturing the pawn. I could play b4, actually, so quicker than that, right? That's 1, 2, 3, 4 moves. Quicker than that, b4 to shift the knight, queen b3. Oh, what am I talking about? It is now defended twice because of Bishy McBish face, right? So this is my plan, right? There. Where's the knight going to go? Well, it either goes to a dumb square on a6 or it goes back there and blocks the bishop off. So I am going to do it. I am going to do it. And notice this knight cannot proceed. If he comes here, then I'm having him. And I can actually technically win a pawn that way as well. But I don't need to hurry to take that pawn. That pawn's like a goner. If the pawn ends up on here, right? Who's going to defend it? Where is its salvation? It isn't. b4. a4, a5 is not even out of the question. Okay, actually I now have 3 attackers on here, so I am taking with the bishop. Yeah? Okay. I can take with the rook if I want. I can take with the knight if I want. My knight can always go back to its outpost there on, what's that, d6? Yeah. If he pushes his pawn, it doesn't really help. I just take it anyway with tempo on the queen, so me. Right? I could throw in a4 at this point. I don't mind that move at all. I actually have this as well with tempo on the queen. Now let's consider that. Right, queen, that's all out. That's out because of knight. That's out because of pawn. She can go here, here, here. Okay? Now, is this good for me? Well, my bishop's looking a bit stupid where it is, so that doesn't cost me a move, right? Or do I want to take the pawn straight away? If I take the pawn straight away, I could dive in here with check. Wait. No, go on, bugger off. A4, A5 just feels a bit slow. Let's develop the bishop and, displace the queen. I think that's fine. I can still capture this. I don't have to capture it with the rook. Probably wouldn't anyway. The knight just seems to make more sense, even if it ends up going back there. If she goes over here, probably just grab the pawn. A4 is not a bad move anyway, in general. Hope this is all useful. I'm being as explicit as I can about my thought process, and also I'm trying to play at my own level, like the limit of my modest ability. Because that's what I like, when I watch, say, Naroditsky, and with the way he explains stuff, it's like it's within my reach, and I can grab quite a lot of what he says. I mean, he really explains his thought process in great detail. Oh, what the hell? No, my immediate thought is bishop takes c5, defended by the pawn. That's defended now 3 times. Hello. Surely that was shocking. Still don't want to take this bishop. Because look at this blockage here. I can take that now, if I choose. Actually, it's quite good because now it comes with a discovered attack on the rook. Ha! Right? And suddenly everything just falls down like House of Cards. You can't take that. Your rook hangs, and so would your queen. So now the rook has to move. Where's it going to go? It goes here, doesn't work. Queen takes, check. You lose, right? Goes here, doesn't work. Fork, king and rook. You lose. Right, this is out, so we can remove that as an idea. So we've got 2 squares. Where's he going to go? This just looks... I take... He's got bishop takes. I've got queen here. We're going to have us a rook. Have me that rook, yeah? I'm imagining bishop takes because I've actually just really let his bishop out of this little cage that he made for it. I do have queen d8, which pins the bishop on the king, right? If queen's here, also pins this bishop where it doesn't actually because queen defends that one. So he could try this kind of idea. I can't take... what I really want to do... Okay, queen in here. What I want to do is I want to get my knight here, queen eat that pawn. So how about something like this, right? My queen goes to one of these squares, right? Knight comes in with check. If the king can't go in the corner because it's checkmate, okay? Here, the king then has to come forwards. Queen captures there anyway. And if the king's here, it's mate. So that means the king has to go there, which means the king has to go there, flushing him out. My knight defends this, my rook defends this, my rooks defend each other. We actually have coordination. I'm doing it. See? So I took stock, we made an attacking plan, we checked it. I'm thinking queen h3, followed by this. He has to go here. I get a pawn anyway. Right, you're not going to trade, surely, you're not going to trade your queen for a knight in that. With check, I move out of the way. Right, forget it. Oh, the knight's pinned. Bugger. Good job the bishop can't go there, that's all. Right, my knight is pinned. I have to move my king first. Or my plan. Oh! I like it. I like it. Opponent played a real... That was a blinder. That was really good. My knight is pinned by the bishop, right? And therefore can't capture the... Oh, well done. Well done. I do have this, however. I take there. No. So you have to go to a dark square. I come here. You have to go back there. My knight can't come in to the action. Okay, well, it just got real, didn't it, a little bit? Actually, if I can eradicate this bishop and then win the queen, that'd be even better. So I'm +4 materials, actually. I'm still glad for this pawn here, stopping the bishop coming out, because this bishop pair slicing down, that could spell trouble. This pawn is undefended though. He could try... No, he can't try that now because he's in check. So I don't know what you're thinking about too hard because there's only 2 moves. Okay. Do I come here? Threatening the bishop. Do I bring my rook into play? Threatening the queen. Queen could take here. Do I move my king now? Let's say I move my king. Let's say he then takes this pawn. I think that's quite likely. I give check. King has to go here. I don't know. Could I wriggle my king through there? Is that even safer? I feel like it might be, you know. He's attacking this once. Oh, it's not. Queen's attacking this. Suddenly, opponent is playing well. Okay, here. If he takes this knight, I can't recapture with that rook as things stand. Here. But then still, if he takes the knight, I'm in check. Okay, I'm going to play King G1. Shit. He can still take that. I take bishop, lose rook. I'm still actually up, though. Okay, let's check. Interesting. But now, this is kind of good because don't I get to save my knight? Sasha, it's okay. Go for a walk in a bit. Now right, the pin is now gone. Suddenly, this bishop, which remember was a really bad bishop, and I'll talk about this, how the fortunes of bishops can change dramatically. Well, that one has, right? That bishop from being an absolute pile of puppy poo. Now what? Now, here, king is forced there, we know this. I could push the pawn forward. There. This isn't mate because he goes back in the corner. Or do I try and engage my knight? Here, there, knight in. I don't know, I'm slightly nervous about this still. Or even check there if I move my knight. Game on. H4. Bishop comes here, attacking the knight. Fair enough, whatever. This gives my king the h2 square, defended by pawns and stuff, so I think that's quite good. This move doesn't concern me too much. Does pin the knight, though. So my opponent just found a counter-attack, seemingly out of nowhere, but it's not out of nowhere, is it? Because I absolutely will have enabled it. But he played a howler of an opening, really, in many ways, giving me a strong position. But again, this is good practice for me. Okay, good move. That is the move I would have played. All right, now here, the king is forced to this square. Then I could push my pawn forward. Okay, so queen's here, king's here, push pawn, threatens this. I think I have to pull the trigger on that somehow. H5, H6 mate is a possibility. There takes check. There doesn't work, does it really? So look at the power of these bishops now. I'm also thinking about, like, you know, rook f1 to defend that. Chekovich. That's defended that rook. Okay, he can block. Then I'll probably take, though. Take, and that's not looking too clever. Might even just try and run away with the king. Really, well, I can't right now because it abandons the knight, but I have to play rook f1 first. How did I allow this? Right, the knight's pinned, can't help. My rooks are... You know, I talked about, like, getting my rooks into the game, and this guy's just still in the box. I have a check here. I'm going to take that, I think. Did I just have this? No, because he's got an X-ray defense with the rook. This... If I go here, he has to play rook there. I'd like to push my pawns up, though. Is it time for this idea? Oof. Rook h8. That would be mate. If I play here, rook h8, I have to come back. He'd grab this first, though, so I've got to be really careful there. Come on. Game on. Rook ad1 to there. That's better. That's more like it. That's more like it. That's a check. Rook block then doesn't work because I take and win. Mate in 2. Ish. Okay. I was in check. Had to take. It's a fork, you know. Sometimes the natural move is like, of course. I am +3 though. I'm actually up an exchange here. Right, what is opponent doing? I now have that. I block with the rook. He may try to attack my rook, but I think it's too late. I think I get in with this. This move. Rook in. He's in check. Has to move to the back rank. Queen on the back. Oh, you can't go there. Queen on the back rank. If he's here, he's mated. So he'd have to go back there. Rook here. King. That's the only one that works. So it's assuming this, right? That. Oh man, this is sharp as nails. Rook here is also nice. I'm kind of anticipating this move. But he's got a No, it just drops the queen. What am I talking about? Yes, people hang queens. 1600s hang queens. In Blitz. As you'll see from my Blitz video today. Titled Even a God King Can Bleed. I don't know. I think this is a very good position. And he's just given up the bishop pair. Right? This, I think, is a turning point. That's my hunch. Because these bishops, the threat, and this is, again, a really key thing, the threat of this pin on the knight was just paralysing for me. Right? I had checkmate dangers going on. Right? When you get paired bishops like this, slicing down the board, and your opponent's king is right there, like an ant under a magnifying glass, keep the damn pin. Right? He didn't. He flinched, and he's given everything away. All his advantages, poof, gone. Because he had a passage of play there where I was bricking it. I really was. I really thought I could be losing this game. And you have to be, you know, he's 900. Okay, he thinks I'm an 800 player, yeah, but you always have to think that your opponent can be beaten. So I don't know what he's going to do. He's going to move his queen somewhere, right? I maybe have this. It's my only good check, I think, anyway, isn't it? The only other check really is queen here, that then rook blocks, so what's the point in that? So it's... This town is coming like a ghost town. Okay, now, I take queen, you take queen. I'm up in exchange in the ending. But I just move my queen. Your queen's still threatened. I could move my queen here. What if I do this? There, takes. Then we've got rook blocks. Here, rook blocks. I feel like it's just that, you know. I've got checks then maybe there, and I could put 2 players on there. He had a really good think about it. That was 2 minutes 46 seconds he thought about that, and he found a counter-attack, which is good. This obviously doesn't worry me because you know your queen hangs. This pawn is very well defended. It's X-ray defended and straight up defended by my queen, seeing as I kept her on the same diagonal. That is now not on. This rook blocks, drops the bishop. So this is kind of a fork in a way. The king would have to move. If he goes on to the H file, then that's curtains. So here, and the king has to go there. probably play rook h1 anyway, with the idea of queen here, and that's checkmate. What a bloody good game. Yee, liking it. Not even sure that e6 might not be a good move. It's supported by a rook. And on e6, it's defended twice, yes? It could be aggressive. But, so this was the King's Indian attack. I just played the King's Indian attack, boys and girls. That was the, this. Yeah? King's Indian attack double fianchetto. Okay, anyway, he's having a think. He's got 2.5 minutes left. I'll need to look at what happened in that middle game passage of play, allowing the evil twins, the two bishops from hell, to pin my king down like that. I really did kind of show my arse there a little bit, and I shouldn't have done that. Okay, well again we have just the option to trade down to a slightly beneficial ending, but here what about this though? Or simply rook here. If rook blocks, he loses, right? Rook here, check. Rook blocks queen takes rook, you die. Okay? Check. So rook can't block. King goes on back rank. I don't have rook h1. Curse. Okay, queen here, check. Right? He hasn't got time for this. He's in check. He does this though. Doesn't work. Then I haven't got time to lift my rook because queen comes in and kills me. So, what are we going to do? I think... Now what if I just... I was just going to say, just take that, right? I think that just wins though, doesn't it? And I'm threatening a check here. It's got to be. It's got to be. Good game though. Jolly good game. Really was. Okay, I'm gonna copy the PGN and I'm gonna put it into a standard. Here we go. Because I want to do it free from any prejudice about ratings, and see how we did. Look at that. Look at this. Is what happens. This is the point. Okay, so we get an enormous advantage here. That was a good move. And in a minute, and that was a mistake, and now black is better. Wow. King h8 forced. And they had a good move there. Trading off. Wow. And here again. And that's just a... Oh man, what's going on here? Yeah. Did you just hang my queen and did I just miss it? Oh, no, he didn't, because the knight was pinned, remember? That was a good move. Okay, that's fine. Carry on. Queen g2 is best. Okay, moving the queen back. Why? And that's the miss. He should have traded off the knight. Huh. Okay. Blocking the check, and that's another miss. Wow. Really let him into that game, didn't I? And that's a miss. Come on, Hunty. And we're even here. Wow. Goodness me. And that's a blunder. Loses a bishop. And at this point, I'm actually lost. Because okay, I don't quite see it. So I played 1500 level in this, opponent played 1200. So he played better than his rating. That was just wrong. I should have played that, but then we expected this, yes? Oh, then I have h6, knocking the king back. Okay, king g8, queen e8 check. Let's say rook back's most natural. More checks, rook f7. And now just threatens to come in with a rook, and I'm slightly better. But that was a mess, man. That really was a mess. I did again, but this is what I do. This is what I noticed. Look, I worked my way into a fantastic position here, and then I went sloppy. And this is what I need to work on. I need to work on this late middle game, end game stuff. Okay, well, big learning experience for me, guys. These not speedrun climbing rating ladder games. Like every game is an opportunity to learn. We're looking for our mistakes. We're looking for our weaker areas, and we're looking where to improve. From here, I should have noticed maybe the alignment issue there. Maybe it's good to like push up, I don't know. But again, I was thinking only about, oh, I've got material advantage, you know, and I don't know what it is. I just kind of get sloppy. I'm still winning. Now less so. And that's just bad. I had to come back and defend, right? My knight is pinned, threatening to be attacked a second time. I had to come back, right? And then I'm actually threatening this, winning the bishop. That would have been much better. But I imagine that at that point I was thinking only about attack, and my opponent did very, very well to come back into that. Really well indeed. Yeah, 72 accuracy from me. Objectively 1500, 1200. I need to be playing better than that. I mean, I really am in these longer games shooting for a 1700 rating. Anything less than that is a bit disappointing, to be honest. But yeah, learning experience, all good. It's all good. Thanks for watching. See you later.